The Gateless Gate, case 3, Jùzhī raises one finger. The case. Whenever Jùzhī was asked a question, he simply raised one finger. One day, a visitor asked Jùzhī's attendant what his master preached. The boy raised a finger. Hearing of this, Jùzhī cut off the boy's finger with a knife. As he ran from the room, Jùzhī called to him. When he turned his head, Jùzhī raised a finger. The boy was suddenly enlightened. When Jùzhī was about to die, he said to his assembled monks, "I received this one-finger Zen from Tenryu. I used it all my life, but never used it up." This is a Koan story that is greatly commented on in the Rinzai tradition, and the focus of that commentary is usually on suchness. So when we make a gesture, such as raising our finger, we're not doing it in a symbolic way or representative way. It's just natural. And so that perspective is part of a wider distinction in the Zen tradition about the uses and dangers of language. However, I think the key to understanding this story is understanding the background detail to it, which, given that this case also appears as case 19 in the Blue Cliff record, is available to us. And in that background detail, we're told that prior to his enlightenment, Jùzhī assiduously practiced zazen by himself. And one day he was visited by a nun who demanded of him that he say something appropriate. And he was unable to do so, and so the nun left. And the name of that nun was True Encounter. Jùzhī's upset by this. He intends to go and find a master, but he hears a voice saying that in fact a master will come to him, and several days later that's exactly what happens. Jùzhī relates the story to this person, who in response simply holds up one finger, and that results in Jùzhī becoming enlightened. So in his subsequent teaching, was Jùzhī holding up his finger, or was he holding up his master's finger? And what are we to make of him simply teaching in this one way? In the incident in question, why was it that in this situation the boy was enlightened but in previous situations he was not. And whose finger on this occasion was Jùzhī holding up? Was it his finger, the boy's finger, his master's finger, or all three, or something else? I think this is a teaching about interdependence. So when we lift our finger, or we lift an eyebrow, or we lift our heart, then we are also lifting the fabric of the whole universe, because we're not separate from that. The severed finger, whether or not Jùzhī is holding that finger up, and that's what causes the boy to become enlightened, similarly is not separate from this fabric of being, and is always communicating, severed or unsevered. It seems to me that the teaching of this koan is that nobody is severed.